The New England Patriots should no longer be allowed to wear the logo when they take the field next week after that loss to the Tennessee Titans. Locked On Sports Boston Patriots postcast.
You are Locked On Patriots postcast, part of Locked On Sports Boston, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Yep, that's what it is. Locked On Sports Boston Patriots postcast. I'm Kim Stewart. That sucked. It's one step forward, 18 friggin' steps back for this team. There is no progress at all. At all. Like they're worse than they were week one. They lose to the Titans 20-17 in overtime in Nashville in a matchup of, now that Tua is on the field, the two least talented teams in the NFL. And Tennessee ran circles around the Patriots today in just about every category you can think up. And they tried to lose that game several times. They had no interest in scoring points, putting the game away. They should have, I don't know how they did not put the game away with a touchdown to open up overtime. And the Patriots, they kept getting handed the ball of like, here, take the win. And they said, nope, I'm good. I don't want it. I don't want it. 2 full seasons worth of games since the Patriots last won back-to-back. That's terrible. That is like bottom of the NFL barrel, downright effing terrible. That is Hugh Jackson with the Cleveland Browns level bad. That is so goddamn awful, that they should not be able to play in the same stadium for a team that won 6 Super Bowl championships. They shouldn't. That's embarrassing. I know they suck. Trust me. I have to watch every snap of every game. I know they suck. But that Titans team with Mason Rudolph out there, you've got to be effing kidding me. Brutal. Just brutally, brutally terrible. And at some point, there is no money that the Locked On Podcast Network could give me that will make me want to watch this team every week. I was having a great weekend. I know plenty of you were too. And then we have to watch that just dog shit football. Again, 3 points in the first half against Tennessee. Oh, just downright dreadful. Dreadful, effing dreadful. And I find it so perplexing that a few weeks ago, after Drake May's first start against Houston, Gerard Mayo went out in the postgame press conference and said, Drake had a good game. We let him down today. And these empty heads, talking heads in the Boston sports media saying, oh, is that what we're going to do now? We're just going to give it to the rookie quarterback and now it's everyone else's fault. Yeah, did you watch it today? It's everyone else's fault. It is. This team sucks at every position but quarterback. They are bottom of the league, awful in every facet except that damn quarterback. So yeah, they did let him down. They let him down again. Did you see that play, that touchdown that he threw to tie the game? And we're supposed to say that, oh no, it was everyone's fault. It was on everyone. No, it was not on your quarterback. It was on everybody else. The guy single-handedly puts you in overtime. Give me a break, dude. This defense is trash. It's awful. The offensive line is back to square one. Just terrible today. Absolutely terrible. Gave Drake May no shot whatsoever. And the weapons are still the weapons. But you can't even call them that. Calling them weapons would be disrespectful to any weapon that was ever made. If other teams have weapons, these guys have Nerf guns at wide receiver. Just nothing. And I keep seeing every week how the Patriots are trying to establish themselves as a running football team because that's what tough football teams do, right? Yeah, 2 weeks ago, you had 40 yards rushing against Jacksonville. And this week, your running backs, 12 carries for 15 effing yards. Tell me you're a running football team. I dare Gerard Mayo and Alex Van Pelt to go to the podium this week and tell us how they're trying to establish the run to be a running football team. Screw it. It's done. It's over. You cannot do it. You have proven week after week and now season after season that you cannot do that. Doesn't matter who the personnel is. Doesn't matter who the coaches are right now. You cannot do it. With the guys in the locker room and in the facility that you have right now, you cannot run the football. You just faced the Tennessee freaking Titans and you couldn't do it. Twice in the last 3 weeks, you have faced a team with one win, and neither time could you get over 40 yards from your running backs. It's done. It's over. Throw the ball every down. And Drake Maye will make something happen. Because your leading rusher was Drake Maye today. Comfortably. Ramondre Stevenson, 10 carries for 16 yards. Drake Maye with 8 carries for 95. You are nowhere close. Nobody else on this roster can run the football. Nobody. Drake Maye and his escapability is the only shot that you have on offense. It is the only prayer in hell that you have. So I'm sick of hearing how they need to establish the run because they're a running football team. You are not. You can't run block. You can't pass block. The only guy that can give you any significant rushes is your quarterback. The only one. And if you can't see that by the absolute piss-poor rushing outputs that you put together against Jacksonville and Tennessee, I can't help you, and you need to fire everybody. Everybody. Because this is, again, a failure week after week after week. And just when you thought you had something last week and you're bringing Drake Maye back into the game, you play even worse. You absolutely throw up all over yourself, piss down your leg, and lose to the Tennessee Titans, who are begging to lose football games. They don't even have the benefit of a Drake Maye. They have Mason Rudolph, a guy who was playing a guitar with a hat in front of him in South Station 3 weeks ago, and he's beating you. It's completely embarrassing. Even for the standard that we had for this team, this is embarrassing, which is really saying something. And I feel for the kid. He's the only one that has shown NFL competency out there. You know, to me, you have 2 real NFL players. They're Drake Maye and they're Christian Gonzalez. Everyone else is along for the ride and would be on a practice squad with 30 other teams. You might be able to play for Carolina or Tennessee, but that's it. That is it. It's an embarrassment to watch every week. And I'm telling you, they shouldn't wear the same logo that Tom Brady did. It just keeps getting worse. It just keeps getting worse. I mean, look, I had a ton of fun with that last week. That was fun. I'm not saying throw that away, but to then get better in the week by getting your starting quarterback back and doing that, it's awful. And they got completely out-coached today, out-physicaled, out-manned, all of it to the Tennessee Titans. It's an embarrassing series of events. We'll break down just who the worst people were coming up on the Locked On Sports Boston Patriots postcast. First, let's say about our sponsor for today's postcast. That is Robinhood. Read verbatim. With Robinhood Gold, you don't need a silver spoon to eat up the financial favors of the 1%. Robinhood Gold allows others to get rates and perks usually reserved for the high society. Well, now, the resourceful individual with Robinhood Gold can earn the very liberal rate of 4.5% APY on uninvested cash and be rewarded with a handsome 3% retirement boost on an IRA account. Robinhood Gold provides the privileges of a high net worth for any net worth. These generous benefits are now available for only $5 a month. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. Sign up at robinhood.com/gold. Terms do apply. For product-specific disclosures, visit robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. Rates may change. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold, LLC. And if you didn't catch that, that is Robinhood Gold. I mean, to say we're back to square one with this Patriots offensive line would be an insult to the offensive line's output in the week 1 victory against Cincinnati, which was not that great, but this was way worse. Like, we are back. We are back to that. A few weeks ago, they had figured something out. And really what they had figured out is when you play Drake Maye, it makes the offensive line look not awful, not like the worst in the league. And Tennessee had this glorious idea of like, why don't we send some pressure and just force their hand, force them to block us? Look what happened. In fact, the only play they didn't dial up pressure, it feels like, was that last play of regulation when Drake Maye threw the touchdown. They only rushed 3. And Drake Maye had all day to throw, throws a touchdown. So you look at the rest of it, it was having no time, like a second, maybe, to throw, maybe. But we're right back to the worst offensive line in football with the worst weapons in football. So it's really, I don't know where you go from here. We'll talk about that in the next segment. Only 4 sacks for Tennessee today. If Jacoby Brissett was out there, it would have been 10. That's how much Drake Maye covers up for you. And the poor kid is running for his life, and he took some hits he shouldn't have today in the running game. He should have slid some more. It's really got to get corrected a week after a concussion before he gets another one. But it was just traffic cones out there today, absolute traffic cones. And this defense is approaching just bottom of the barrel NFL levels, just like the offensive line is, just like the weapons are. The defense is that terrible. 400 total yards of offense. The Tennessee Titans, 400 total yards of offense. And a guy in Tony Pollard, who was ran out of town last year in Dallas, a team that has probably the worst running back room in the league this year. They didn't want him. They did not want him on their team. And all he does, 28 carries, 128 yards, and wears you out the whole game. This is a laughingstock. This was supposed to be the strength of their team. And maybe we should have been asking the question at the beginning of the year, who the hell is DeMarcus Covington? Just like, who the hell is Alex Van Pelt? And just like everyone else in the league is saying, who the hell is Gerard Mayo? Because it's a joke of a coaching staff that got completely outcoached by the Titans today. Who's the Titans head coach? I have no freaking clue. No idea. And I get paid to watch these games every week. I couldn't tell you who the Titans head coach is. No clue. But whomever he is, he coached circles around Gerard Mayo today. Calvin Ridley, their leading receiver, 5 catches for 73 yards. Nice little day. Love to have someone like that on the Patriots. Maybe they should have gone for someone like him. And I'll tell you where a big, big turning point in this game is. And you saw it in overtime twice, by the way. The Patriots fumbled once, and they lost it. Jermichael Hasty could not fall on it, and it gave the Titans a short field, and they scored. The Titans fumbled 3 times. You know how many they lost? Effing 0. They couldn't land on one. The last 2 kickoffs, one a punt, one an actual kickoff that the Patriots kicked to the Titans, they fumbled both times, and both times the Titans got the ball. So they lose the turnover battle 3-1. Not a good throw to end the game for as well as Drake Maye played today. Not a good throw to end the game, and had a bad pick early in the first half. And you see, I think, the problem with the weapons by Drake Maye's stat line: 29 for 41 for 206 yards. 29 completions for 206 yards. He has no time for people to get open. And the guys, when they are open, are dropping it half the time. I'll bet a good 3 or 4 of those 12 incompletions were drops. And a bunch of the other ones were the kid running for dear life, just needing to get the ball out. Oh, I don't want to sit here and say that I thought they were going to make the playoffs this year. Obviously, all of us knew what this team was. We knew that this was a top 5 draft pick team, and at best 6 through 8 in the draft order. But it is almost unthinkable how far they've dropped from being a Super Bowl contender to probably the worst football team in the league. I say almost unthinkable because we've seen it unfurl in front of our eyes. And to be honest, those last 2 Brady teams really didn't have a lot of talent either, but they had Tom Brady and, Edelman and Gronk for one of them, and a hell of a coaching staff. Now you have none of those things. You have a good, promising rookie quarterback, and you have who looks to be an all-pro level cornerback. But outside of that, you've got nothing. You've got absolutely nothing. And it showed a real sense of just totally disconnected football team. Was right before the half. The Patriots are in a 2-minute drill. They're down 7-3. Drake Maye is starting to hit a rhythm, and they get to a 2nd and 1. They run into the line twice in a row. 2nd and 1 to 4th and 4, and the Patriots have to punt. And Behringer, that waste of space, Behringer, man, punts it 15 freaking yards. You give the Titans the ball at midfield with like 2 timeouts left right before the half, with like a minute to go before the half. And you are so lucky that the Titans are equally as bad at football as you are, because somehow they messed that up. You know, they're backed up. They end up getting into a Hail Mary situation instead of going for a field goal. And Mason Rudolph is just tossing it to the cheerleaders. You know why? Because he sucks. And the Titans suck. And you suck just a little bit more. This Titans team was ready for Cancun last week. And you're coming off a big win. And you just absolutely mail it in. This run defense is atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. And I'm hearing people talk about, oh, no, you should keep some of these veteran guys on the defense. You need to have some veteran guys in the room. Honestly, for what? For what at this point? For some moral support? For guys who know how to lose? Because they sure as heck know how to lose. They do it every week. They've done it the last 2-3 years. They are experts, pros at losing football games. So if that's what you want to keep in your locker room, go right ahead. But I don't care if they trade. Honestly, anybody but Drake Maye or Christian Gonzalez, go right ahead. Who cares? It seems awful. You're going to get a top 5 pick almost no matter what. I don't think there's any scenario where they're picking 6th. And I've said this week after week on this postcast, you can afford to win some games because if you're in the top 5, you're getting the best left tackle in the draft. The way that the drafts go now, you're not picking a quarterback, so you don't need the number 1 pick. But now you've got the tiebreaker against Tennessee, who is going to be right up there. And I do not agree. I do not agree that this loss is on Drake Maye. Andrew, you're not the GOAT. That is such a terrible take. I would love to hear you back it up as to why you thought this loss was on Drake Maye, because that is completely and utterly false. Did he make mistakes in this game? Yeah, I thought both picks were mistakes. But to think that Drake Maye lost this game, you're just brain dead enough to coach for the New England Patriots. I'll give you that, because that is a terrible, terrible, terrible take. Drake Maye was not absolutely flawless today. It shouldn't take 29 completions to get to 200 yards. But then again, when you're throwing to Kayshon Boutte and Kendrick Bourne and Austin Hooper, yeah, that might be what it takes. Because again, just a bunch of guys get cardio out there in this receiver room. I don't know how they. It's just like no pride in that room. Hunter Henry gets 7 catches. Pop gets 7 catches. Kayshon Boutte 2. Antonio Gibson 1. Austin Hooper 1. Some guy named Jaheim Bell 1 for a yard. And stop me if you've heard this before. Jalen Polk, nothing. Absolute nothing across the board. Just getting cardio out there. No catches, 1 target, holding penalty. That's his stat line. Congrats. And then Kendrick Bourne saying, "Oh, my bad last week. It's going to be better. Pats Nation. I'll make it better." First time he even appears in the stat sheet. False start penalty. Moves a 3rd and 7 to a 3rd and 12. And then he gets a reception. How about that? He gets a reception for 8 yards. So if you take away his stupid penalty, a veteran wide receiver in this league trying to go off the snap count and not when the ball is snapped, if you take that penalty away that no other receiver in the league makes, and no other veteran receiver in the league makes that penalty, if you take that away, he's got a first down. But you can't take that away because he did it. Let's look ahead a little bit, because I'm starting to wonder if there's another game on the schedule that the Patriots can win. Let's take a look at that coming up next on the Locked On Sports Boston Patriots postcast. But how about FanDuel? You want to bet on the Patriots to lose? You're going to win some money on FanDuel. And right now, new customers can bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. Love some bonus bets. Bonus bets if you win. The FanDuel Sportsbook app gives you everything you need to place live bets on the NFL all in one place. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, like, yeah, Patriots really suck again, I think they're going to lose, you can check out the latest stats. You can view live play-by-play. You can see that the Patriots get 15 yards rushing on 12 carries, all in one place on the same page where you place your bets. Just visit FanDuel.com to join today. You're going to get started with $150 in bonus bets if you win that first $5 bet. That's FanDuel.com. Never waste a hunch and make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL, which the Patriots might play in soon. Getting in the home stretch of this Patriots postcast, Pats lose in overtime 20-17 to Tennessee. Second overtime loss of the year. And one that they really didn't even have any business being in an overtime. But Drake Maye makes one of the plays of the year to get them there. But some Patriots fans think that Drake Maye lost them the game. That last play, 4 seconds left. Last play in regulation, I should say. 4 seconds left. He runs around for, I think someone clocked it at 11 seconds. And I'm screaming at the TV. I'm like, at some point, you got to get rid of it. You know, there's two guys bearing down on him. You got to get rid of it. Get rid of it. Lofts it, but places it absolutely perfectly to Ramondre Stevenson for the touchdown. Joey Sly sneaks in the extra point. Didn't need the heart attack on that. And I saw some people on Twitter and some people texting me that were also watching the games thinking, why didn't the Patriots go for 2 there? And honestly, I thought they should have gone for 2. Because, again, when we get down to this, these are 2 bad football teams, and you had no right getting as close as you did the way that you played, to be totally honest with you. And I think most of us could have predicted what was going to happen in overtime in terms of this defense is worn out, and they're not good to begin with, even when they're rested. Like, the Titans are going to run the ball right down your throat, and that's exactly what they did. And you're very lucky that they didn't have a walk-off touchdown because they fumble a snap that you, once again, did not land on because you are allergic to landing on fumbles. That would be ridiculous. Why would you do that? But you're very lucky that they did not score a touchdown there, and pretty lucky that they left you any time on the clock. It looked like they were going to run down all 10 minutes and score, which would have been a perfectly embarrassing stat for the Patriots to have, that Tennessee would hold the ball for like 9 minutes and 59 seconds of overtime and win the game. So, yeah, I thought they should have gone for 2. Is a 2 a gimme for this team? No, it's not. But I'm okay with them trying to win a football game there because I really didn't like their chances in overtime, even though they had the momentum. I didn't like the chances at all in overtime against this team, the way that the Patriots were defending against the run, which has just been god-awful all season long. It's just been bottom of the barrel bad, which is a theme of this postcast, bottom of the barrel, because that's what the Patriots are like right now. You face another team that was right there with you at the bottom of the barrel, 5 characters in search of an exit, Twilight Zone episode. You're both down there, and you were just that much worse today, because honestly, it shouldn't have gone to overtime. So, yeah, I think they should have gone for 2. And I don't think, as bad as Rob Mayo's been this season, I don't think anyone's blaming him if they go for 2 and they miss it. You tried to win the game. If the Titans bring a bunch of pressure and it blows up the 2-point play, that's probably not on your coach in terms of a play call. It's on your offensive line. So it's on the coach in a backwards way, but not in that play call. Are they going to win another game this year? Beats the hell out of me. Beats the hell out of me. They go to Chicago next week, take on Caleb Williams. That's a team that's meh. Drake Maye's had a better season than Caleb Williams. They had obviously a back-breaking loss last week to Washington. Don't even know what they're doing today, if they're even playing today. But go on the road against Chicago next week. You don't have the Jets left on the schedule, so that takes a win off. You go to Miami in a couple of weeks. They've got Tua back. The Rams at home is an interesting one on November 17th. The Rams are not a great team, and they might be offloading some real capital this week at the trade deadline. And not just draft capital, I mean like players. I think they might be unloading Cooper Kupp and some other guys. That's been a rumor. Colts stink, but who knows? So do you. Cardinals stink. Then again, so do you. At Buffalo, loss. Chargers at home, loss. Bills at home, loss. So no more than 2 more wins on the schedule. Gets you to 4 on the year and probably gives you the second overall pick, maybe third, where you picked last year with 4 wins. I don't see I don't see what you're hanging your hat on for a couple more wins this year, because obviously we love Drake Maye and I think he's playing really well, but like, how are you going to know if there's progress? Like, he could be going through his progressions and reading the defenses really well right now, but he's throwing to Kayshon Boutte and Jalen Polk and Kendrick Bourne. Jalen Polk when he's open, which is almost never. So are we even going to see the progress this year? Like, we're so worried about him regressing, and it's like, who knows? Because the rest of his team is so bad, like so bad, not even up to league minimum standards good. So yeah, I mean, maybe you'll get some progress, but who will even know? Ballpark, I mean, at most 4 wins, at most. Anyway, let me know what you think. Are they going to get any more wins? What's the worst part of this team? If you think Drake Maye lost the game for the Patriots, please, God, explain yourself in the comments below. Or if you hate me, just drop that in the comments below too. It really helps the channel. Be sure to like and subscribe as we grow this Locked On Sports Boston postcast. We'll have it for the Red Sox, obviously, that season done, but we'll have that for the Red Sox next year, Patriots and Celtics. Steve Lennox will cover you for the Celtics. I also want you to tune in to Locked On Patriots with Mike Debate. He'll have a more statistical, measured breakdown of this thing tomorrow and what's going to happen with this Patriots team going forward. Be sure to like and subscribe. Follow us on all the platforms. First listen today and every day. We will see you after the Patriots lose next week on the Locked On Sports Boston Patriots postcast.